Hi guys, Blake here with Lilleys Landing Resort and Marina on beautiful Upper Lake Taneycomo. It is Thursday, July the 30th, and this is the one cast. All right, today I boated up here. I'm just below the tennis court, and I brought my fly rod out with me today. They're running just a little less than 2 units, about 5,000 CFS. Today I'm going to start off throwing a size 14 rainbow scud, and I've got a little I can't remember what size split shot I had on there. Got that on about 7-8 foot a leader and a little indicator there, and I'm gonna set this a little deeper. I've got this set so that even if it drags the bottom, it shouldn't get hung up. It should just kind of tick the bottom. All right, this is more of an ideal flow for doing this. I like that. Even a half unit's good for dragging a scud, but I like between a half unit and 2 units of water for fishing with my fly rod. Not that you can't do it, fish a fly rod out here in any units. We have a gentleman that comes to the resort a few times a year, and he'll get out here even if the floodgates are running and throw his fly rod. He just, got to play around with it. He increases the leader length a lot, and his weight and size of his indicator to keep it down there and still be able to see the indicator. Excuse me. Oh, there was a hit. I was not paying attention, looking down at my shoelace. Let's see, they're running, like I said, just a little less than 2 units. It's about 8:45 in the morning. We were super busy when I came into the dock. I think we just about sent every boat out. I still had 2 bass boats left, so I decided to get out here and get the one cast taken care of before we run all those out too. I have not heard any fishing reports yet. I walked in and hopped in the boat and came up here, so I don't know how anything's going on the water yet this morning. Seen a few boats out here reeling in a couple fish. I think I need to increase the length on my indicator here. When I'm fishing scuds out here, I want my weight to drag the bottom. So that means that generally I need to set it an extra 2 foot deep, because I want that weight ticking the bottom and then the scud bouncing up behind the weight, just like if you were dragging it with a drift rig. And then you have to keep an indicator big enough to float the weight that you need. And the sun has popped out. We got some rain yesterday. I don't think as much as they were calling for us to get, but we did get some. I'm gonna switch sides here. Staring at that sun was kind of hard. The sky was looking awfully dark when I drove in this morning, but the sun has popped out and the clouds are getting a little lighter, so we might miss the rain they were calling for today. I don't know yet. Something you can do when you're drifting an indicator out here, fly rod or not, is if it starts pulling back that way, you can slow the boat down with it, and if it starts going that way, you can speed the boat up, and just kind of, ideally you want to keep that indicator right out in front of you. If it gets pulled behind or to the front of the boat, there was a hit and I missed it, then it's not gonna have the right presentation. So you got to make sure it's kind of even with you. You want to make sure it's drifting even with the boat. Oh no, they are really striking that very fast. I mean, they're pulling it in and spitting it right back out. I think that's three bites I've missed now. So something you can do, which I haven't done yet, is pull as much line in as you can and just barely have any line sticking out there. Kind of hold your rod tip up where you've barely got any slack. And it doesn't mean I'm going to be able to set the hook any better, but it will improve my chances, like that right there. I had like 3 or 4 bites before this fish, and the only difference was I had a little too much slack out in the water. They're biting it so fast that I couldn't pull the slack out of the line in time. So instead I casted closer to the boat a little bit and I pulled all the slack out and just kind of held the rod tip up to where I barely had any slack in the water, and that allowed me to get the hook set on this one. It's been a while since I got my fly rod out. This is one of my favorite ways to catch a fish right here. There's a lot of finesse that goes in with this. But anyway, like I said, what I did there was picked a split shot that would be heavy enough to get it to the bottom, but not too heavy to where it would drag the indicator under. Oh, and he came off, darn it. Should have paid attention to what I was doing. Another thing you got to do, if it permits, is you need to, if you're bowing your line, you starts getting pulled downstream, you need to take it and flip it back up. It's called mending, and it just keeps that bait from getting drug and looking unnatural. I'll flip over and fish this side now. There's one. See if I can get this one in the boat. Yeah, I picked the smaller scud because they're running less, you know, they're running a slow amount of water. Whenever slower the water for me, the slower the fly that I use, or the slower the fly, the smaller the fly that I'll use. They can see better in the slower water and the lower water, and it just doesn't take as much. For them to be able to see it. Whenever the water's running faster, that's why you upgrade to a bigger scud or a bigger fly, because it's harder for them to see in that water. He is really working me here. I want to get him in for the camera. I'm trying to be careful, not hoss him. Oh my. I think he's finally getting tired here. There we go. There we go. Nice, pretty healthy 14-incher. So they're biting the scud pretty good this morning. Like I said, they're doing a pretty quick bite, which is something I've heard a few different people talking about the last few days. Where it seemed like Bill Babbler said it seemed like they were doing really good throwing a micro jig, meaning he was getting a lot of bites, but they were biting so fast that they couldn't get the hook set on it. And it's even harder to get a fast hook set with a spin cast rod with an indicator, just because you don't have the option to be able to set here and pull the slack out of the line really. So he had to switch over to doing something else because he said the fish were biting so fast. They're just sucking it in and spitting it right back out. And sometimes the fish really hold on to the baits. They'll come up and take it and they'll just hold on to it. And sometimes they're real skittish with it. And it seems like maybe the last few days, the fish have been extra skittish with their eating. I think we'll go down to the end of Eagle Island. Oh, I think I caught my fly there. I sure did. Dang it. Got spot lock and not lose any ground here. Alright. Sometimes you gotta watch it. I like to tie a little knot in my leader, but sometimes that little split shot will get to sliding down. I like my split shot whenever the water's moving like this to be just about a foot above my bait. So what I'll do is I'll take it and I'll tie a knot right at the foot mark so that weight can't slide past it, and that helps keep it from sliding. And I don't really find that it hurts the line anyway. Like if the fish breaks it, it's usually not where that knot is. So I don't think it really affects it in that way. This flat that runs along the front side of the island is a really good spot for dragging scuds. Hoping maybe I can find one more there if I don't find one before then. But the other key is definitely having the boat and the indicator moving at the same speed. If you don't have that, you're gonna have a lot of trouble keeping the bait drifting like it needs to be drifting. Right. Somebody told me that's the only way to catch a trout. That was Chuck Grease that just went by. Oh, there's one. I was looking up, talking to Captain B there, and this fish nailed it. And I'll tell you what, the scud is one of those baits. It's just a real good bet most of the time. They occur naturally here in the water, and all sizes of fish eat them. It's not just you're not just going to catch you know, smaller trout. There have been a lot of fish out here on this lake, big fish, caught on the scud fly. I think this fish might be a little bit bigger. He's really running me. Anyway, like I was saying, bigger fish get caught on these things. Like I think just a month or two ago, Captain Steve Dickey had a group out, guide trip, and they caught a 10-pound brown trout drifting a scud underneath an indicator like I'm doing right now. I remember one day last summer, it was a day that I caught my biggest trout out here on the lake. And the big one that I caught was a 9.5 pounder, 28 inch, and I caught it dragging one of the Signature Series baits. But that same day, we had a John boat go out, and they were drifting scuds underneath an indicator with their fly rods, and caught a 13.5 pound brown on like I think he said like a size 16 scud, which is even smaller than the one I'm using right now. So if you've never worked with scuds out here before, they're worth learning. They're a great bait. I'm gonna see if I can use the trolling motor to catch up to this fish, get him in the net. Oh yeah, that's a nice one. There we go. Oh no! Well, I think I just broke some really expensive fly line. It was caught on my foot. I think that might just end the video for me. This fish was hooked really good. All right. There, a nice beautiful rainbow. Well, I just broke my $100 fly line, so I'm gonna go back and go buy a new spool and re-spool my fly rod. So well, there was something a little different today. I know we haven't broke out the fly rods in a while, so we thank you guys for watching. like and share us on Facebook, and we'll do it again tomorrow. Hi guys, Blake here again. So after the video was over, I kind of took the 2 broken ends of my fly line and stripped the rubber off and used the thread inside to tie them back together, and I just kept drifting down, and I threw it back out there, and I think I've got a pretty decent fish on. He was kind of sitting right in front of that first dock there. I think I'm actually going to try to use the trolling motor to chase up there to him. But so far my knot is holding. Coming up here in about 200 foot is Dino's dock, and right out in front of Dino's dock there is a pretty big root wad, and it catches lots of flies. I'm trying to attempt to land this fish before I get there, because I'd bet money that if we drift past it, he will try to run up inside of it and get me tangled. This might be one of the biggest fish I've landed on my fly rod in a while. I guess I'm counting my chickens before they hatch when I say landed. I still gotta land him. I'm gonna attempt to drag him out in the middle here. I can see him running for a root wad over there. I see the branch sticking out of the water, and he's running right towards it right now. I'm gonna try to slowly manipulate him out this direction. If I could get him out in the middle, we could just drift down the middle. I guess the other possibility is I could have him foul hooked, but I can feel him shaking his head pretty good. Okay, I think I've got him far enough out here. This is one of those times I wish I had somebody else to help control the boat. And he is about to run me all the way to my backing. I really have no control over this fish. It looks like he's really wanting to stick under these docks over here, and it's really getting close to Dino's, and I just don't know what I'm gonna do. I think he's gonna take me under. I think he's gonna take me into Dino's there. He's gonna get hung up in that root wad. I can't pull him. can't do anything with him. Come on, buddy. Just come out here to the middle for me. If I could just get him past this root wad, I'd be in the clear. I really still haven't even got to see what he looks like yet. Whew. Oh, it's definitely a nice fish, but I do believe that he is also foul hooked. Well, maybe not. Oh, I'd love to be able to get this fish in the boat. Just come up to the surface one more time, buddy. That might be a brown trout. Okay. Man, landing a big fish on a fly rod is one of those things. You fight them for a long time and you start getting tired and you stop letting them have it, and you try putting a little more tension on them to wear them out, and that's that moment whenever you break it off. So trying to do my best here. I'm also getting pushed towards the bluff now. All kinds of challenges. Come on, buddy. There's just not much you can do to wear a fish this big out. Every time I get him up here, he just dives back down again. How long have I been fighting this thing? It's been almost 10 minutes since I turned the video on, and I had him hooked before the video started. I'm gonna attempt to get the boat back out in the middle a little bit. And he's decided to go on a big long run again. No! Oh. Alright, well, I give up. He broke off on me, guys. Thanks for watching.